Geek Tank Radio on 98.1 The Max.
Welcome, everyone. We are the Geek Patrol, and our microphones don't have a stun setting. I'm Joe Thorderson, here with my friends Brandon Olmstead and Alan Gilbreth, and our buddy Max over there behind the glass. And in the house, Claire. Claire, you're here. You're from...
Who are you people? Where am I?
He forgot your last name. It's almost like he's the one who had the chloroform rag.
I've always forgotten your last name. It's Claire behind... Claire used to be behind the glass at one of our prior locations.
Claire had her own room.
Literally behind the glass. So, yeah, she was the... She did Max's job back when we... That's how we know Claire.
And, I mean...
It's called McKelvey. There you go. It's like Claire McKelvey.
I was just going to let him stew.
I'll forget it as quick as I hear it because I don't care. You're Claire, and that's all I need.
He can't remember the name unless he writes it down.
So, Claire, today, you're going to be, I hope you're coming to the Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention, right?
Either of my own volition or in a sack, so.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for that ringing endorsement.
Just to let you know, Claire,
I
have
just
been
had her fitted
voluntold
for a sack. You know,
you've been voluntold to read scary stories to tell in the dark.
No,
to a group of people.
Oh, they want to hear about my old radio days?
No. We're actually going to use the stories we grew up with, the ones from the book. Nobody wants to know about your old radio days.
Yeah, because
not even you.
Claire is an eclectic personality. Let's just put it that way. But Claire, here's the thing: since we are, we're a month out. Brandon, you're going to be getting shameless plugs for the Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention.
This might as well just be Memphis Comic and Fantasy Radio for the next month.
Yep.
Oh God, I just brought up bad days from you.
Okay, but I don't want to. Okay, hey, but Claire, you like to shop at estate sales, and we were talking off the air that the experience of shopping at an estate sale is not dissimilar from the shopping experience of a vendor room at the convention.
You never know what weird trinkets you're going to find.
And so there's an element of treasure hunting and all that. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking, let me say this. So we're going to talk about the convention experience of shopping in a vendor room. And then later in the show, Brandon, we've got Jackie Cooper, Eileen Kuo, and Adam Remsen dropping in. They're from the Quark Theater, and they are the ones putting together Through the Looking Screen, which is going to be a full musical production that they are going to be performing at the convention. This is a one-woman operetta, Claire, all about social media and the foibles of online dating. What do you think?
Another scary story, eh?
Yeah.
So you want to just change your name to Memphis Horror Con and be done with it?
There you go. We're getting there. It's on Halloween weekend. But Claire, so talking about the convention experience of shopping, you go to estate sales, and why do you do this? Like, what's the attraction?
And this is both an explanation and also a little pitch to any of my millennials or Zoomers who want nice furniture, good kitchenware, and just occasionally weird stuff. Estate sales are the way to go.
Okay. Why? Because you don't know. And you might find nice things, too, right? So.
And there's websites you can go to where, you can kind of sneak peek at the good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it is a certain pirate's treasure.
Yeah.
Because you never really understood what somebody collected or liked or wanted or got stuck with.
There's the element of unknown. It's not like shopping at a big box store.
I remember this one that I went to where going through some of this person's collections and stuff, I felt a little weird and creepy because I was like, I feel like we would have been pals, but I don't know if you're still alive.
Well, if you go to the vendor room at the Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention, for one thing, you're meeting. Okay, if they're an artist, you're meeting the artist that actually made this item.
Yeah.
If you're meeting retailers or collectors, you're getting people that collect these random, very difficult things to find, and there's a treasure hunt.
And the absolute truth of the matter is when you look at the person behind the counter, you're not sure whether or not they're alive or not either.
Well,
you also at the common rooms, you get to converse with your fellow buyers and have somebody maybe convince you to buy something insane, which has happened to me before, or I can convince somebody else to buy something wild, which has also happened before.
But it creates a unique energy because it's like, okay, here's the other thing. These vendors have a limited amount of items in their booth, or they might have that literally one-of-a-kind thing. And if you don't buy it, somebody else is going to buy it. And so there's this FOMO effect. There's a unique energy in a vendor room that really, I mean, to me, the vendor room is the heartbeat of a convention, especially when it's well curated, let's say.
Absolutely. You've got to make sure that you've got a good chunk of variety amongst. And what's great about some of the vendors we actually end up having is that you've got a good chunk of variety just at their booth.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know, it's like, and you'll go from something that's like, you know, this is all handmade and perfectly crafted and painted, you know, by me and my 3 children, and we have it here for this. And then next to it, you got Laddie with his, you know, his yard sale,
his comic book collection. Yeah, which you talk about getting bargains too. You know, so I mean, there's the bargain hunting element. There's the and folks, if you're somebody that you always want to be that unique person that has the best Christmas gift for everybody, like you pride yourself on having that unique gift for somebody, you can't beat going to a convention. And I mean, even if you're not necessarily a fan of superheroes or science fiction or something, there's those oddities, there's that.
And if it's an anime convention,
item.
Forget about it. You never know what you're going to find there.
Yeah.
Ooh, what a neat pillow. I wonder what's on the other side. Oh, no.
Well, I mean, you also have just giant boxes that say mystery box.
Yeah.
And you never know what's in those. I mean, you may spend $50 and you get $3 worth of you know, crap from the dollar store.
You get 3 anime figurines and a toaster for some reason.
And then you know, you buy the box that's right next to it, and then there's things you can't talk about on the air.
Yep.
So go to the okay, but we encourage you, if you've never been to a convention, for one thing, ours is very affordable. We do that on purpose. We sacrifice, Brandon, because we want you to be able to afford to come. Bring your family. We've got family passes. We've got kids passes. Our tickets are $25 a week. You know, I mean, for the entire show. Kids passes are $12. Family passes are $55. That's I don't know. I mean, we can't give the tickets away, Brandon.
I mean, we can
with
if
that
we have
attitude.
a contest.
But we do our best to make it enjoyable and affordable, and there is nonstop action. So go to MemphisCFC.com. If the link looks weird, hit it anyway, and it works. Trust it. We're having some Google issues.
We are at war with Google at the moment.
But you guys, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to have a little sit down with Jackie Cooper, Eileen Kuo, and Adam Remsen from the Quark Theater, talking about the production we're going to be screening called Through the Looking Screen.
You're listening to Geek Tank Radio on 98.1 The Max. The Geek Patrol is back.
Yeah! Oh, no!
Okay. I don't know what I just heard. And welcome back to Geek Tank Radio, everybody. I'm Joe Thorderson, and I've surrendered Brandon and Alan's and Max's microphones because we have guests in the studio. And Adam didn't show up. He's a no-show. I'm going to hold that against him. But we do have Jackie Cooper and Eileen Kuo. Ladies, good to have you on the show.
Well, thank you so much for having us, Joe. This is a delight to be here.
Oh,
yeah, thank you.
Wait. Well, and so Jackie, you and Eileen are going to be you're performing Through the Looking Screen at the Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention, November 1st at 3:00 in our main ballroom. And I thought we need to tell people this is a full production. Right?
Yes, it is a 1 hour, one woman, well, with the help of the wonderful director, Eileen Kuo, to sing along with us. We're putting on this production. It is a one-woman show where it talks about the life of Annabelle and how she navigates social media and how she is socializing in the world with it.
But Eileen, this is an technically this is an opera, right? It's a one.
We've been calling it an operetta because this is just kind of like a bite-sized little nugget of opera with some delightful, tasty classical music, but in a sort of musical theater format, where we get to kind of tell a story in a very concise form, and we get to tease other styles of music and a lot of very modern and contemporary acting into the piece.
Well, see, that's what I was going to say. You know, sometimes when you think of opera, you're thinking, okay, well, the Magic Flute or the Marriage of Figaro or something. This is not that. This is as street level and contemporary as you can get, right? I mean,
yes. I mean, it's a very contemporary show. I mean, hence the subject matter of it. It's not your big grand opera, like you mentioned, Magic Flute, Carmen, La Boheme, of all those things, if you can think of any of that. But the great thing about this piece is that it kind of introduces people who have been curious about classical music and gives them the opportunity to see it in a very, I don't know what the right word is for it. It's like a very
accessible.
Yeah, it's very accessible just because it's relatable, especially like because we incorporate a lot of acting, a lot of little Easter eggs of things going on in the modern world. It helps you kind of see yourself in this character a lot.
Okay, so Jackie, you sit. Okay, is there any speaking in this? You're not singing the whole time, are you?
Oh,
I would say you are pretty much singing the whole time. It's a musical piece from start to finish, and there's almost no breaks whatsoever. Curtain comes up, I start playing, and then it's music pretty much the entire time. And, Jackie does get a few little breaks here and there in that there's little small musical interludes where I'm just kind of playing while she, goes to another scene or some slight costume changes, but otherwise it's pretty much a musical piece that runs about an hour long from start to finish.
I wondered about that because I just think of how singing's all about breathing, right? I mean,
yes,
and you need to breathe. It's like so.
Yes, lots of breath work. Very much, very centering. You have to center yourself with that. I'm very thankful for the opportunities that I've had throughout my life to get my degree in music education and having the opportunity to perform around town and using my skills for that and being able to use it for this has been just wonderful. And what a great way to, use your skills is to tell a fun story, especially at a fun convention.
Exactly. And you've worked with Opera Memphis before, right? And,
yes.
I mean, so and we're all tight with we have great partnerships with Opera Memphis. Which, if you're new to the Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention, you might be surprised how much these groups overlap.
Yes.
The director of Opera Memphis is a hardcore geek. I mean, Ned Canty. So I mean, but Eileen, I don't think we've painted a good enough picture. So without giving spoilers, can you tell us what this story is about? Because this literally is a modern day operetta. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I would say this is kind of the story of Annabelle navigating connection in the modern world. And so to kind of set the stage, when we open the show, you kind of see Annabelle getting ready for a date, and she's about to meet somebody that she has connected with on a dating app, and so you watch her go through all those emotions of excitement and anticipation. Who is this person she's about to meet? And then without revealing things about what happens, she then navigates, what is she going to do next? And it really turns into a show that explores the interaction of connection in this modern day with the very fast growth of the internet and all the development of all the different ways that people have learned and continue to evolve with the way they connect with other people. And so with that, you get social media, professional connections, LinkedIn, Twitter, all the different ways we receive nuggets of information about who a person is just from the internet.
It's interesting because, I think everybody in the audience is going to relate to this, right? I mean, Jackie, you must connect with this character, right?
Absolutely. Like we said, it's a show about connection. And sometimes whenever we think we've built a connection with somebody there's a degree of separation, right? Whenever we are speaking with someone in person, it's easy to kind of tell who that person is. Now, when you have the veil of social media, you have the, the guise of like, oh, this is the avatar of who I want to be presented as and everything. And so you curate different things about yourself, trying to make yourself look better and having like special curated, likes and everything that connect with other people. And so it's kind of interesting to see the gray area in between, and it kind of makes you want to turn off social media sometimes.
It's funny you say that because I don't know. You all are a little younger than I am, and honestly, I've said this a million times, but I kind of like the world better before we had smartphones. I don't know. Yeah. I know they're helpful, and I know they've done a lot for us. In fact, people are probably listening to us on a smartphone now, but I don't know. Some of this stuff, like living life through a filter, but it's interesting because this is going to be a really fun performance, and yet it's going to be thought-provoking as well, I'm sure. So
Absolutely, yeah. And it is absolutely just beautiful music, too. And one thing I want to point out is that this music isn't something you can find on Spotify or otherwise.
No.
So I really hope everyone comes out to hear it.
it's going to be great. So stay tuned, everybody. We're going to tell you more about Through the Looking Glass, which is going to be Through the Looking Screen, which is going to be played at the Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention November 1st.
You're listening to Geek Tank Radio on 98.1 The Max. The Geek Patrol is back.
Those of you who volunteered to be injected with praying mantis DNA, I've got some good news and some bad news. Bad news is we're postponing those tests indefinitely. Good news is we've got a much better test for you. Fighting an army of mantis men. Pick up a rifle and follow the yellow line. You'll know when the test starts.
No, this is actually part of the show, Eileen. Eileen is looking horrified and surprised.
I can't wait to find out.
I can't wait to find out more.
And welcome back to Geek Tank Radio, everybody. I'm Joe Thorderson here with my special guest, Jackie Cooper and Eileen Kuo. They've Alan and Brandon have graciously yielded their mics so that you all could come in for a minute and talk about. Well, you're talking about a few things. If you're just tuning in, the Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention is coming up November 1st. It's going to be at the beautiful and spacious Memphis Hilton, which is my favorite venue. I don't think you've been to... Eileen, were you there? Have you ever been to our convention when it's at the Hilton?
I have, and I've loved it. It's a great space.
It's the perfect space for us, so we're really stoked about being back there. But we're partnering with the theater community, and we're really excited about this because we are going to be doing... we're doing Star Wars Shakespeare. We've got Opera Memphis doing some musical work. We've got Nathan McHenry, who's a local actor that's going to be singing. He played in Tick, Tick, Boom and Cabaret and some others. And Jackie, you are a very accomplished performer. And Eileen, you are a very accomplished director and pianist, and you play the violin too, right?
I do not, actually. I can't play anything with strings.
Oh, okay. Well, the piano has strings, right?
That's true. And guitar, bass. But yeah, I can't play anything with a bow, so
okay.
I can't.
You can plunk it.
Right.
But what we're doing is we're doing something different. We are partnering with the theater community, and we're saying let's put you on stage in front of all these geeks, and we're bringing and we're also bringing theater people to the convention. I love bringing different groups of people together. I just think it's cool.
Yeah, I mean it's really awesome to be able to have the opportunity for Quark and the theater community to outreach to different levels. I mean, just like you guys wanting us to come in, and it's just a great little partnership because, I mean, I'm sure you've mentioned this before, the cross correlation.
Oh yeah,
we're all nerds.
We're all nerds.
It's not that far of it's not that far of a stretch to go from geek to theater.
Theater nerds,
snob, or
Yeah, Comic-Con nerds.
In fact, I met Eileen at Star Trek Day, so I mean that's kind of. I'm used to seeing you in your Starfleet uniform. That's
Yep. Won't be seeing it this time, but yeah.
Okay, and if you're just tuning in, this is a good opportunity to remind you that if you ever miss anything, if you ever miss any content on Geek Tank Radio, just go find us on Spotify, find us on YouTube, whatever, and you can listen to we save it all as a podcast because I'm not going to recap Through the Looking Screen. But we are going to be having a full performance. It's a one-woman operetta. Jackie, you are going to be performing and singing, and Eileen, you are going to back her up with music, and you're also the director, right? So
yes,
yeah. And I'm so grateful for another chance to reprise this performance. Jackie and I performed this first last September through Quark Theater, and then we got to have another encore performance at Germantown Community Theater, and now we're so very excited to get to present this one more time.
Oh, we're stoked. And I was watching you all do a little bit of rehearsal, and you guys got a little emotional doing that. I mean, this must have really connected with you.
It's a very sweet one. I mean, I feel like Eileen and I relate a lot when it comes to being classically trained musicians and getting to do something that's fun and relatable and just I don't know, just something nice, you know what I mean? And we got to bond through that experience, and while we were because I don't know if anyone was listening to the previous segment. Eileen was mentioning that you cannot find this music on Spotify. There's no prior. I mean, there's like one recording from like what was it, Edinburgh Fringe Fest or something like that. It was just one performance of this one woman like in London a while back, and we basically got to like nerd out ourselves and like dissect the music and figure out how to tell this story our own way.
Well, and it's interesting too because, folks, this is a I don't want to use the word legitimate, but this is a legit production. This is written by who is the author that wrote this?
Her name's Anne Chmielewski.
Anne Chmielewski, and she wrote she's written off-Broadway piece. This is an off-Broadway show.
Yes, she's a very prolific and incredibly accomplished composer, and that's actually how Quark discovered this show, is because one of the founders, Adam Remsen, had been a huge fan of her work for years, and so when he found out she had an operetta, he was like, I must find out more, and so he got a copy of it, got the rights, and then he was like, you know what, I know who are the people that need to put this on, and so that's how this got here. But before that, it had not been done in the United States ever before.
Yeah, it's cool, folks. You're gonna really enjoy this, and you cannot beat the deal if you for your ticket to the Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention. It's hours and hours of fun. It's great shopping, lots of panels, video gaming, Legos, cosplay contests, everything, and you get seating for through the looking screen. I mean, I don't know any better value in town. It's going to be a lot of fun, but we keep it that way because we want people to bring their families. We want people to be able to afford to have a fun day out. So we really are thankful to the Quark Theater for doing this. But now we've done all this promotion for us. Can you tell us a little bit about the Quark Theater and maybe what's coming up? Because we want people to check out your work too. So
yeah, so Quark Theater was founded by Adam Remsen and Tony Isbell, and this was born out of their desire to bring to Memphis a theater that was doing really small but thoughtful works, small plays that might not be a huge production, might not have a big set, might not have a huge cast, but plays that leave you walking away thinking for a long time.
They say something.
Yeah, they're very thoughtful and thought-provoking, and dig into some big concepts. And so they've been around for a few years now, and they put on several productions every year. You can find out more about them at quarktheatre.com, QUARKTHEATRE. And that's where you can find out more about the upcoming productions. We're actually rehearsing one that's about to open October 24th. It's called Not Alone Unhappy, and it actually, yeah, I know, it's a very interesting show. It's a trio of interwoven short plays written by co-founder Adam Remsen.
Okay, awesome. Well, shoot, the clock is ticking. We got to go, ladies, but hey, we're going to be talking more about this in the weeks ahead, but thanks so much for joining us on Geek Tank Radio.
You're listening to Geek Tank Radio on 98.1 The Max. Count Olaf is a jerk. The Geek Patrol is back.
He is. I hate that guy. And welcome back to Geek Tank Radio, everybody.
Little unknown fact, he stiffed Joe on a carpentry project.
He is the most uninteresting villain in any literature I've ever. I hate that. I mean, I really hate that guy. He's awful. Every time he's saying anything, I don't want to listen.
Hey, did you notice something?
What?
While you were doing your interview, Claire turned into Scott.
Well, okay, yeah. And welcome back to Geek Tank Radio, everybody. I'm Joe Thorderson here with my friends Brandon Olmstead and Alan Gilbreth and our buddy Max over there behind the glass. And we're playing musical chairs today. Brandon and Alan gave up their chairs earlier, and Claire, so we could interview Jackie Cooper, Eileen Kuo, and Adam Remsen. Great conversation with them. But now in the house we have Scott J. Carroll because
musical Claire's.
Yeah, Claire's been relegated to the side. She's kicked to the side, and now
there is a C-A-L and R in my name, so can kind of make it work.
Hey,
well, it's all on the internet, so I hate to say this, but you've become an eclair.
All right, let's stay focused.
Get out.
So, Scott, you're gonna be doing a lot at the Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention. Let's keep the shameless plugs going here.
All right, so Scott, in case nobody told you, first of all, you're going to be part of GTR Presents Geeks Unleashed.
Oh, okay.
Which is literally just going to be me, you, Alan, and possibly Claire having a ridiculous conversation at the beginning of the con.
So a normal day.
That's at 9 a.m.
Oh, you monster.
I am.
I'm absolute monster.
I am a horrible, horrible human being.
I'm gonna have to go to my green coffee shop and get their nitro infused cold brew just to be on point. Which, if you haven't tried, is actually very good.
Yeah, get caffeinated.
Right.
It's going to be a long day. You better pace yourself.
And then midday, you're going to get to do story time with Scott J. Carroll.
Oh, story time. So much fun.
Everybody loves listening to you tell stories, so it's like we might as well capitalize on it.
It's because my life is nothing if not interesting. And our parents always taught us that even though this is a terrible thing now, it's going to be a good story later.
Right.
Yeah, just let it age, and then it'll be funny.
There's a quote from the Three Musketeers book where it was the wise musketeer saying, you're young, so you have plenty of time for bitter recollections to become tender remembrances.
There you go. Very well put.
I like it.
Thank you, Dumas.
And then later that evening, you will be part of the Enclave who is doing Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
I love that book. I love those books so much. I grew up reading those.
Right.
I have the entire collection, the Treasury. And there's something so wonderful about all of those old folk tales that no matter where you go or what era you're from, there's still a version of those that exist.
Absolutely.
In fact, I'm actually the voice on a YouTube channel that's going to be launching soon where I'm narrating a bunch of modern versions of those, like the ones you find on Reddit and other sites.
Cool.
We've got a few of those videos are recorded. I'm waiting for those to launch, and once they officially launch, you'll know.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm pretty sure you're going to, if you don't, Alan's going to go, Brandon, you need to listen to this.
It's exciting. So, yeah, we're really leaning into, well, for one thing, we're leaning into being different than all the other events around. We want to be affordable. We want to be entertaining, and there's going to be a lot of entertainment this year.
And see, that's just one of the things that's always been a major component of MCFC. I think it was back during year 10 where I made the poster that says Embrace Change.
Yeah.
And it was like, because we kind of just, we have evolved so many different times because of the fact that we focus on the arts. Like this year, we're going to be focusing on the performing arts and the Memphis theater community. And it's just, I feel more like just jazzed about this year than I have since pre-pandemic times.
And I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking insanely forward to this. And not just because we're doing a weird double duty for you guys this year, because I'm also working at one of the vendors' tables.
Yep.
I've been crafting these wonderful little plant stands and display shelves out of reclaimed wood.
Yep.
And we're going to be having some other stuff that we're selling there too. But it's so much fun to do that, to see both sides of the table, both sides of the con.
So is this your first time working a vendor table as well?
For you, yes.
Yeah, for the weirdos here in Memphis that buy the things.
Yes, for here.
Awesome.
There you go. Yeah, and we were talking about that earlier in the show. And folks, if you're just tuning in because maybe they just turned the radio on, we are talking about the Memphis.
You missed the whole episode, guys.
Yeah, and go back and listen to the podcast. But we're talking about the Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention coming up November 1st at the beautiful and spacious Memphis Hilton over there. Free parking for one thing.
That's always
plenty
a good
of room. Well, that's a big deal. Some people,
we've been places where you have to pay to park, and that's just not cool.
And nonstop entertainment. It's very affordable. Scott J. Carroll's you're going to be pretty prominent. We're working you pretty hard that day. Yeah. So starting at 9 o'clock. So yeah.
And just be prepared at any given time that I need an MC for somewhere in the in the main ballroom. I'm going to go, Scott, you're entertaining. People like you. Come on.
That has happened more times. And one of my absolute favorites, I was at a convention in Biloxi. They were waiting on Steve Bloom and Mary Elizabeth McGlynn they were running late for one of those shows. And they had a room full of people. So the con owner just grabbed me and said, get in there. So I'm in there. I'm on stage. And I'm doing my bit. And about 20 minutes later, Steve Bloom and Mary Elizabeth McGlynn walk in. And Steve Bloom just looks up and he goes, oh, yeah, that guy's funny.
So Scott's built-in personality, he's just the pickup truck.
There you go.
Yes.
So.
Better pickup than dump.
But you gotta have people like that at a convention, because sometimes you have the best laid plans, but it doesn't mean anything when the convention starts, because everything can get thrown into the
improv, man. Study improv.
And you got to keep the people engaged. And Scott, you've always been amazing at doing that. I mean, I know I've only known you about 6 years now.
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah. Every time that I needed you to do something for MCFC, you've knocked it out of the park. And I got you to get up early a couple weeks ago to come and hang out with me at the Comic Expo.
Yeah,
and that's a place you don't normally go.
Yeah,
you did, but I love entertaining. Yeah. I love keeping people engaged and just finding everybody is always, whether you realize it or not, having something miserable hanging over them in the back of their mind. And to distract them from that for just a little bit is a whole lot of fun, and I love doing that.
That's a good point. That's a service that's provided at the convention, and you make new friends, and it's just a great escape, and it's affordable, and it's fun. So, I mean, get there. Go to the Memphis Hilton. It's November 1st. Go to Memphis CFC to get your tickets, and don't worry if the link looks weird. It works. So, but you guys, we gotta get out of here. The show is over. So until next week, we are the Geek Patrol, and I am Joe Thorderson.
And I'm Ellen Gilbert.
I'm Maximilian.
I'm Scott J. Carroll and Claire McKelvey.
And I am Brandon Olmstead. And just like this episode, remember, chaos is key.
The Geek Patrol is back.
Also, they told me you guys look like dorks.
They look like dorks.
And welcome to Geek Tank Radio's bonus digital content. I don't think our guest looks like a dork, although in the right context, maybe you want to look like a dork. But we have our cosplay guest, Rainy Day Roses, in the house. Rainy, it's great to have you. I love your name. Rainy is a cool name.
Thank you. I'm super excited to be here.
It's fun. Now, Rainy, you made sort of a, You sent me an email that you may regret in 5 or 6 years because you volunteer. You want to help us. You want to help the Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention, and when we get qualified helpers, we tend to work you to death and make you wish you had never done this. No, I'm just kidding. But
well, I'm kind of a workaholic, so that's right up my alley.
Well, Rainy, it's funny because you know how this is too. You and I travel the same circles, obviously. Mm-hmm. So you've been coming to the Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention. How many years have you been coming? So
almost 10 years, I think. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a bit because I remember, you're probably like this. You see people there. Mm-hmm. And maybe you say hello, whatever, but you don't necessarily really know them, but you kind of know
Right.
them.
It's the same faces at the same cons every year.
Right.
And sometimes it's hard to recognize people in their different cosplays. So
Right. Yeah. Well, I've seen you and I've like, oh, she's, and it seems like every year you would step up your game. And I'm like, because you would participate in the cosplay contest or you came just as a fan. Now you're a guest.
Yeah. It's kind of a dream come true.
Well, I wanted to take advantage of that and talk about that because you're going to be doing a lot with the Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention this year. You're going to be, for one thing, you're going to be our cosplay guest, which we're honored to have you. You're going to have a booth set up, and we're also going to be helping with the cosplay contest.
Yes.
What I'm excited about is you're going to be helping us with our Star Wars by William Shakespeare.
Yes.
Segments.
I'm so excited about that. I'm a huge geek for both Star Wars and Shakespeare, so it's combining two of my very specific interests.
Oh, it's going to be great. So we want people to come, and then we want them to meet you. We want them to see what's going on at the Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention. So we're going to talk about all those things today. But let's start. You are a cosplayer, and we know what that. Well, I guess most people know the word cosplayer. It's just somebody that likes to have really awesome costumes, but you get in character. What is it like being a cosplayer, and what got you into it?
It's kind of the dream job for me, honestly. Cosplay is the combination of costume and play. So part of being a cosplayer is having fun with it and really getting into the character and interacting with the community around you, cosplay is a community unlike any that I have been in. They are so welcoming. They are so fun. You automatically have something in common with another cosplayer. Just based on the characters that they cosplay and the fact that they also enjoy this fun hobby that you do. So it's fun, it's creative, and I got into cosplay because it is a combination of all of my favorite things. I have been a lifelong theater performer and dancer, and I was involved in technical theater, and cosplay just combines performance with makeup, with hair, with sewing, with prop making, with lighting, with filming. It's really everything all at once, which is the kind of chaos that I thrive in.
Well, and it's an element of live theater, and what I like, I would almost sometimes call it performance art.
Yes, definitely.
Because performance art could take place anywhere, and you could you're cosplaying when you get out of your car and start walking into the convention. So in the parking lot, you're cosplaying.
Yeah, and people at cons, they'll kind of call you by your cosplay, like whoever you are. So I get a lot of, hey, Harley Quinn.
Right.
I'm like, Harley Quinn, pleased to meet ya.
Yeah. Well, I wondered about that because it's not just a matter of, okay, well, you make your cosplays for the most part, right?
A lot of them, yes.
Okay, so that's craftsmanship. I'm keeping you got to do your makeup. That's a skill. You do wigs. Wigs are an entire talent. I mean, that's an entire craft.
Yes, wigs are actually kind of my specialty. I am a licensed cosmetologist, so I went to school for hair and makeup. And I love doing the different wigs. It's probably my favorite part of creating any new character.
It's awesome. And it's like, and so I'm always impressed when I talk to cosplayers because so now, Rainey, I'm a woodworker. And so I do a lot of wood turnings, and I've done classical furniture making and stuff. I guess you would call that the industrial arts. I still feel like there's an artistic element to it.
Absolutely, there is.
But I have a great respect for craftsmanship, and when I talk to cosplayers, it's like I'll say, "Oh, wow, that's a cool belt. How did you get that?" "Oh, well, I made it." And they start telling me about all these things they did to make. I'm like. You're some high school girl. How did you do? It's cool. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. I'm like, I am thoroughly impressed. They're out there welding and they're out there doing this. And cosplayers just seem to really be passionate and they commit and they have I would say if the grid ever goes down and the apocalypse arrives, go find some cosplayers.
They're going to make it work.
Yeah.
Yes. Cosplayers are actually insane, I think.
Yeah.
And if we have one thing, it is the audacity to believe that we can.
I think don't undersell that. I think that's a huge part of it. I think you got to have the gumption to say, no,
yes,
I'm doing it. It's going to take me 1,000 hours to make this suit, but I'm going to do it. So.
Gosh darn it, I'm going to learn what I need to learn to get it done.
It's cool. So being a cosplayer, do you find that you are? I guess I'm just thinking. Okay, well, for one thing, okay, you did your Harley. Now you got to take on Harley's voice and everything. Are there personalities or costume designs or what attracts you to a particular character, I suppose?
Personality is a lot of it. I cosplay a lot of the same like behavioral characters. I do a lot of crazy girls. And I do a lot of sad anime boys, which is kind of like the two extremes of my personality is like the wild, crazy, out there persona. And then on my days when I'm feeling very low energy, then I'm this like really quiet, kind of awkward, I kind of want to go home.
Yeah.
Anime boy.
That's cool. So what about props? Like, because I'm thinking... well, I love the show Attack on Titan and everything.
Yes.
But man, some of that maneuver gear and all
That's
the other
insane. Yeah, it's a lot of leather work to get their ODM gear.
Right.
And there are so many different ways to go about making props. There's foam, there's leather work, there's 3D printing, there's so many different avenues, which I think is one of the great things about cosplay, is that there's no right or wrong way to make anything. It's up to your creativity and your capabilities and what you want it to be.
Well, I want to ask you about that because it's kind of a community, and there is something, what I find really interesting, and you've probably seen this, it's not just with cosplay, but I've seen this with theater people, I've seen this with performers in general, where to meet them on the street or you meet them at work, they're kind of just average, and they might even be sort of quiet and shy.
Yes.
And then they get in character and they just come alive. They get on a stage and suddenly they're fearless. And I've always found that curious. Like, how can you be so reserved and quiet, but then you put on this persona and suddenly there you go. So
people have actually described me that way. I'm quite quiet in my personal life. I'm very reserved. I really don't speak unless spoken to, which is, strange considering where I am right now. But
yeah,
it is, you kind of, when you put on the mask of a character, it lends you some of the characteristics of that character, I think. So if you cosplay a very confident, loud character, you feel braver to be confident and loud. Or if you are cosplaying a very social, very kind character, it gives you that motivation and just like you feel like you can do what that character does. And I think that's a very interesting part of cosplay.
It is. I find it very, I don't know, I could see it almost being therapeutic in some cases. It's got to be.
It is. That's how it kind of started for me, honestly. Yeah, it was very therapeutic.
I could really see that. And you know, speaking of that, we're always, you know, we're here on 98.1 The Max. There's every year we meet new people that have never even been to a convention. And Rainey, you've probably seen this. It's always funny too, especially because like this year we're at the Memphis Hilton. So inevitably you're going to have us, we're going to be there, but then there could be soccer teams and business people and people on vacation that are in the lobby of the hotel seeing all of this coming in, and they get excited, and they usually are very interested. But what I don't know if people realize, geeks are some of the friendliest and most intelligent people you're going to meet.
Oh, that's so true. Like,
we don't bother anybody.
Right. We don't bother anybody. We are so inclusive. I think that there's a certain quality about geeks and nerds that they've felt othered a lot of their lives, and they never want anyone else to feel that way. So going to a con is kind of like a homecoming for a lot of us.
Right.
It's a sense of community. It's a sense of belonging. And we want to extend that to everyone in the vicinity. We want everyone to feel welcome.
And it's cool too, Rainey, because when, you know, I deal with the logistics, I deal with all the contracts and everything, but the hotel staff, generally speaking, love conventions. Like they told me, they said, we look forward to your event every year because you're fun, you make the hotel exciting for the weekend, and you don't bother anybody, and you clean up after yourself. It's just cool. It's a really cool community, folks. If you've never been to a convention, I would really encourage you to come. Bring your family. There's a lot to do. It's hard to even describe a convention because there's so much activity going on.
I agree. I think there's something for everyone at a con too. There's vendor booths. There's panels that you can go to. There's workshops where you can learn things. There's, I mean, just so many different avenues that you can take. No one's con is going to look the same.
No. And I have to say with some pride, though, ours is really good. I mean, like ours has a lot of, I've had people tell us that they like ours because for one thing, it's very activity based. There's always something to do, but also we keep it affordable. We keep it where there's unique things to do, and we try not to do the same thing every year. So
right, I'm really excited about this year because it is so performance based. Like they're going to be able to see so many different parts of like the local theater scene, showcasing different talents. Like there's going to be opera, there's going to be theater performance, there's going to be musical performance, and I love going to a show and just seeing what the people in my community can do.
And so you're going to get samplings of things too. So it's like part of the fun is I've always enjoyed bringing different groups of people together that maybe normally wouldn't have an opportunity to be together. So like we're going to have the theater people with the theater community in with the geeks, for lack of a better term, although there's a lot of
the musical theater nerds and then the sci-fi geeks.
But with that in mind, well, let's talk about this because you're helping us. Okay, so Rainey, you're going to help us with the cosplay contest in a big way. You're going to be a part of that, but incorporated into that is something I've been wanting to do for years. It's if you ever go to your local bookstore, you might find something. It's called William Shakespeare's Star Wars. And it's really cool. And I'm going to let you tell people what this is. So, I mean, because we're going to incorporate parts of that this year.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about this because, like I mentioned earlier, it's kind of a combination of two things that I really love, Star Wars and Shakespeare. So the kind of origins of these books, the gentleman who wrote them was inspired after he went to the Oregon Shakespeare Festival shortly after reading Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies.
I've read those.
And that kind of gave him the idea to write these Shakespearean retellings of the Star Wars movies. So he wrote the first one and he presented it to Lucasfilms because obviously he needed to get permission to go forward with this. And Lucasfilms loved them. Not only did they love them, but they said, do more with this. Like, please.
Can you give us more?
Yeah, they were like, really get into this and even go outside the bounds of the movies. They really wanted him to just, go all in on this project. Which I think is really cool. So he ended up doing, I think, the whole series of Star Wars in this style. And I can't wait to bring these to a stage in like a silly and fun way.
Well, it's perfect for the convention. And so so folks, if you could imagine this, imagine an inner monologue I guess, is it a monologue? Yeah, it would be a monologue of R2-D2 scheming, because we all have these inner monologues that we think of. Well, imagine an inner monologue of R2-D2 in Shakespearean verse. It's awesome. That's probably one of my favorites out of the New Hope version. But we're going to be doing that. We're going to be doing different passages. And you're going to be performing, I think, multiple characters probably.
Most likely, yes. And I'm so excited.
So that's okay. Well, that's just one thing we're going to do. But you're also a Shakespeare geek, right? I mean,
I'm a huge nerd for Shakespeare. It might be one of the nerdiest things about me, I think. I have performed Shakespeare myself. I have stage managed Shakespeare productions. I actually worked with the Utah Shakespeare Festival for a season, which is the second largest Shakespeare festival in the country. I've also been to London and visited the Globe Theater, and I'm a huge nerd for Shakespeare.
Oh, that's awesome! And you're going to bring that to bear to help us flesh this out and make this a really cool something for the
I am
guests.
a wealth of fun facts about Shakespeare and his plays, so I'll be rattling those off all day at the con.
Well, yeah, that would actually be nice to give some tech. Maybe because I mean, you look at the themes of Star Wars, it is not hard to see how they mesh really well with
Star Wars is a Shakespearean tragedy. Right. I mean,
it's perfect. And so if you can kind of, as we're, rolling this out, you can kind of incorporate that into the presentation. I think that's going to be awesome. So that's just one thing. But now the cosplay contest, you're going to help us with that as well. And what's nice is you I guess you're looking at well, let me ask you this as an outsider, because I've watched cosplay contests and I've seen, for example, I've seen somebody maybe their costume has got a few little, things could be improved. However, they nail the character. Like in other words, there's the performance and then there's the execution of the costume and all that. And I guess you take all that into account, or
So there are so many different ways to cosplay. There really are no bounds in this community. And there are a lot of different divisions that you can enter. I mean, there's the novice, where you're just kind of learning how to sew or how to make props, just getting your feet wet, and you wanted to, show off your work, which I love. I've entered that division myself. And then there's the journeymen who have been doing this for years. And they've made every single piece of their cosplay with intense detail. And it's really some stunning and beautiful, well thought out work. And so there's a huge range, and a lot of cons will also do like an exhibition category where maybe you didn't make it, or maybe you made pieces of it, but most of it was store-bought or thrifted. But this gives them the chance to really show off how they put together the cosplay, even if they didn't make it, and how they would perform as that character. And people really get into that, and it's so fun to watch, and just you can feel the love in the room at a cosplay competition.
There's so much positivity that happens in all of this. It's not just that. It's I think cosplayers, you all add the most flavor to the convention. I have to say, I can't imagine a convention without cosplayers, right? I mean,
yes,
it would be like a store. Like it just wouldn't be the same. But I want to take the opportunity while I've got you here. I'm sure there are certain moments that maybe you remember that, because you get opportunities as a cosplayer that I don't get. And are there moments that you can remember from conventions that really just stick with you and make this all worthwhile or something? So.
Yes, I would actually, if it's okay, I would love to share a story from a con that I recently went to. I was at Dragon Con in Atlanta, and I was cosplaying Jinx from Arcane. And I walked out onto the patio at the Hilton and was immediately swarmed by a group of young girls. I mean, they had to have been maximum 10 or 12 and under. And they were just blown away. They thought I was actually Jinx. And they were speaking to me as though I was Jinx and asking me, like, I can't believe your sister wouldn't forgive you after everything. And I was like, I know, siblings, am I right? Like, really leaning into it. Yeah. And there was a young girl cosplaying the character Isha from Arcane as well, who, if those of you have seen the show, Isha is a young girl that Jinx kind of takes under her wing. And she was kind of lingering near the edge of this group of young girls. And my friends saw her and went to speak with her, and she very shyly said, "Do you think she would be willing to take a picture with me?" And my friends were like, absolutely, she would. And they pulled me over, and I saw her and got so excited. I gave her a huge hug, and her mom came over and was like, "You just made my daughter's day. Like, thank you so much." And just like the joy on these kids' faces of like seeing their favorite characters brought to life was probably my favorite moment from that whole 5-day convention.
Isn't that cool? And you have that's a great power you have when you're a cosplayer. I mean, that's just that's just awesome. I love that stuff. And you know this, pretty much every convention without exception, there's some memories. Now they're not always like that. That's a great one. But there's always these moments that you could never predict.
Yes.
And they happen. And a lot of times they're captured and they're put on social media. But that's kind of what makes it worthwhile for me, because I'll be honest, Rainey, this is a lot of work doing this. Every year about this time, I'm like, I don't think I could do this again. It's exhausting. But then at the end of the weekend, after you hear stories like that, it's like, okay, this is why we do it.
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, I've heard stories from people at all different kinds of conventions just about how this community and these experiences have really helped them. And just, I mean, cosplayers and content creators and things, they make other people, even if you're not in cosplay gives you permission to be your most authentic self, I think. Other people can see cosplayers and it makes them feel freer, and like they can explore themselves in that capacity.
You know what you're making me think of? I'm gonna take advantage of your expertise, and I'm really enjoying this conversation too, Rainey, because you're making me think. And you and I are of a different generation, so it's nice to get your perspective on stuff. But you just made me realize a few years ago on Geek Tank, I brought up something, and it turned into the whole show, this discussion. And it is, okay, I'm a big Batman fan, right? You know? Okay, now, I'm guessing you're a Batman fan as well.
Huge Batman fan.
Here's what I want to ask you, because, okay, well, we know Bruce Wayne is actually the mask. Bruce Wayne, you could say Batman is the authentic person. Yes. Bruce Wayne is the mask. But I've always found some of the most interesting sequences in Batman is when he's in the Batcave, he's in his bat suit, but he has his cowl off. So you're seeing Bruce Wayne's face and you're seeing Batman. And I think in that moment, he is almost his ultimate self. And
his truest
for
form,
some reason, I always find that interesting when he's like that. And I feel as a cosplayer, I'd like your perspective on that, because I just think it's an interesting psychology there.
I do agree. I mean, in some aspects, I get to be my truest self when I'm cosplaying my favorite characters. It gives me the permission to be who I've always wanted to be. And I think that's, something that Batman would resonate with. Being the Batman gave him permission to be the person he always wanted to be. And in those moments where he's alone in the Batcave, like you were saying, he's alone, he's got the cowl off, he's in the bat suit. Those moments always feel very vulnerable to me, in a good way. Like we're really getting to see who he is.
And we've seen too, like, because I like Batman the Animated Series. That's a great series.
A
but
classic.
As I recall, when you see Batman where he's got his cowl off, it seems like he's still doing the Batman voice though.
Yeah.
Because he's in, you know what I mean? Like he's still doing the whatever street level voice or something. But I feel like that's, I don't know. I think as cosplayers, you get to, I don't know. You must have I think I heard Mark Hamill quote this, something about, okay, geeks have we don't have to go to therapy. We have all this escapism. We have all this therapeutic, all these things that are actually really good for you as a person psychologically and all this. That kind of balances us out and everything. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I touched on it a little bit earlier. Cosplaying different characters gives you permission to explore those parts of your personality and see what you really resonate with. So it can be a very therapeutic thing to do. I would recommend everyone give it a try. If it's something you're interested in. The best advice I could give anyone who is interested in cosplay or like really wants to get started but they don't know how, the best advice I have for you is just start.
Yeah.
Just start somewhere because your first anything is going to suck. It's going to be bad. But you can't get to your 50th until you've done your first.
Right.
So, like, just start. Let it be bad. Let it be not perfect. Because the only way you can get better is to take that first step.
You know, it's interesting, too. You're reminding me of Prince. Prince is he's one of the most talented artists of all times. And he had a certain creative, I don't know what you call it, process. He did not go for perfection. He went for feeling and passion. And if you listen to some of his songs, there's technical things, even in his biggest hits, but he didn't care. He did it, and he finished things, and he made something. Instead of talking about it, he did it. And I think there's lessons there. And it sounds like what you're saying.
Yeah, perfection is boring. I mean...
and we'll never achieve it anyway. So
yeah, it's a fruitless pursuit. And even if you did get it, it would be boring. The little mistakes and the little imperfections are what make things interesting. It's what makes people interesting.
Right. Yeah. No, it's very cool. And so now, Rainey, people may want to follow your action, or they may want to invite you as a guest. Because tell us some of the shows you do, because you're here in Memphis, but you travel.
Yes. So I've guested at several cons in Memphis. I also attend C2E2 in Chicago every year. That is one of my favorite cons. I highly recommend if you're able to.
Convention.
It's enormous. It's so, like, the scale of it is just so big. But it's a ton of fun. The community is great. The venue is excellent. I also attend Dragon Con in Atlanta, as I mentioned earlier.
I love that convention, too.
Yeah, that one.
I hate the traffic, but
one's insane. Yeah. It's a whole other universe. People talk about it, but it's really something you have to experience for yourself.
Right. But so now, people may want to check out your work because you post everything. What's the best way for people to follow your adventures, basically?
Yeah, I'm the most active, I think, on TikTok. My handle is Rainy Day Roses. And I also am active on Instagram. Same handle, Rainy Day Roses. I post pretty frequently on both of them. If you're trying to get in touch with me, I would recommend an Instagram message. I try to respond to as many as I can. So. Okay,
awesome. So did we miss anything, Rainey? We've been trying to, once again, let me just say, folks, we strongly encourage you, if you've never been to the Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention, it is a lot of fun. It is purposely affordable. That's what I'm saying, because it's the best entertainment value you're going to get. It's coming up November 1st at the beautiful Memphis Hilton over there in East Memphis. Just look up, if you're on I-240, it's the big shiny round building near Poplar. And it's also, I should say, we're going to be, it's all-day activities. And one thing, Rainey, you may be interested in is our after hours from 9 to midnight, the Memphis Zombies.
Yeah, the Halloween party.
Right. Are you going to be a part of that?
I would love to be a part of that if possible, for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be basically, we're making this a whole Halloween weekend. It's November 1st, so that's kind of Day of the Dead and all that.
Dia de los Muertos. Yes, I celebrate every year.
Well, Rainey, it's great having you in here, and I guess this may be a noteworthy day for you. You may, like I said, regret this day one day when I work you to death at the convention. But
I look forward to that.
Consider this the beginning of your Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention career. But it's great to have you on board.
Thank you so much for having me.
Super interesting conversations too, and I really, anytime you get a chance to talk about Shakespeare and Star Wars and cosplaying all in one.
I jump at the chance.
Absolutely. So it's been a lot of fun. So once again, folks, one last reminder, you can get your tickets for the Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention. It's going to be November 1st at the beautiful and spacious Memphis Hilton over there by Poplar and 240. Go to memphiscfc.com. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Go to just go to Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention. See, I can't remember that stuff, Rainey. But anyway, it's a lot of fun, and we look forward to seeing you there. So, well, Rainey, thanks again for coming in today.
Thank you.
It's been great. So, on behalf of my friend, Rainy Day Roses, I'm Joe Thorderson. Thanks for listening to Geek Tank Radio, and we'll see you next week.